Let's say I live out here at Rocky Ridge Point in East Greensboro and I go to Dudley High School. I downloaded the Translock Rider app and searched where I want to go. The app tells me that my bus stop is a 10-minute walk from my neighborhood and the bus will arrive at 4:18 p.m. So I followed the map and walked to my bus stop. There weren't any sidewalks, so I had to walk in the roadway at times, but was able to stay mainly in people's yards. When I got to the bus stop, I waited until it arrived and got on. My app then told me I would be on the bus for a while before arriving at the depot to switch to another bus. Before arriving at the depot, my Translock app notified me that I will be transferring to another bus when I got there. I arrived at the depot in downtown Greensboro and made my way to Slip 5. Slip is another word for route. Now, one thing I dealt with when boarding Route 5 was when I got on and told the driver I was headed to Dudley High School, she told me that I was on the wrong bus, even though my Translock app said for me to be on her bus. I realized that even though another bus route dropped people off closer to the school, the route that I was currently on got me to the school sooner. I rode another little ways on Route 5 before my phone alerted me that I would be getting off at the corner of McConnell and Willow. After getting off, I walked a few blocks down the road and arrived at Dudley High School around 5:20 p.m. Hopefully you learned something by the step-by-step process, so students are able to make it to school to continue their learning.
Amber, what an adjustment for these kids. It's so different for them to get used to.
Yes, this is something that they probably haven't experienced ever. I know a lot of my friends have never even been on a public bus at all.
But one thing they have experienced that they're going to have to keep doing here is wearing the mask, correct?
That is correct. So as soon as you get on the bus to the time that you get off, the mask is required. And it's a pretty strict rule, so much so that you can't even eat or drink while you're on the bus. But GTA says that this is just to keep people safe. They even wipe down the buses any chance that they get.
On the inside, you can see the interior of our buses. We keep them as clean as possible because we want to make sure that people enjoy being able to ride in a clean bus.
A whole lot of people take the bus to go to work every day. Are they going to see any changes to the routes because of all these students?
So GTA says, short answer, no, they're not going to have any route changes, but they do have some helper buses on hand just in case some of these buses get over capacity.
Just in case the buses are full, then we can bring in a helper bus to follow behind, because we do know that it's going to be a limited amount of time for the students to get to school.
Speaking of a limited amount of time, a lot of parents have said that they are concerned about the buses getting their students to school on time. How were they today when you were riding? Were they prompt?
So I was on there for a little bit over an hour, but whenever I talked to GTA, they said that it was going to be a lot quicker for students. They did say that they are on time 97% of the time, which is a big deal. And they have made sure they have plenty of staff on hand to keep buses moving. One guy that I talked to, he says that he's been riding buses for a few years. He's from up north. He says that he's never dealt really with any timing delays here with GTA.
I've been down here for 4 years, and it's been one of the easiest. I come from up north where the buses run constantly 24/7. Down here is a little change where they shut down a little earlier. But they be convenient and they move on time majority of the time. So, it's been a good experience.
Grimsley High School is already making other plans to help students get to school. It says it's providing 4 shuttle buses for students. There's an 8:30 a.m. pickup at those 4 locations and a 4:30 p.m. departure from Grimsley. Now, Grimsley staff have volunteered to make sure there are people to drive those shuttles and chaperone the bus routes. Greensboro's Mayor Nancy Vaughn and Kevin Irwood with the Greensboro Transportation Agency, they joined the Good Morning Show to answer your top questions about the agency's bus system today. With clusters of GCS students living together in neighborhoods, one parent was wondering if there's enough space on all the GTA buses for those riders.
Typically, our 40-foot buses will hold about 45 people seated and then another 20 standing if need be. However, fortunately, this works out great in that we're actually offering these services during off-peak hours. So the buses should be pretty light in terms of ridership.
It's off-peak, but there will still be riders from the general public on the bus with students. The transportation agency wants to reassure parents that their child's safety is a top priority.
The people who ride our buses, they're going to work just like we are. They're going to school, they're going to doctors, and they're a very close-knit group in terms of supporting each other. But we do take safety seriously. That is why all of our buses contain, well, first of all, a professionally trained operator that can respond to any type of emergencies. Also, we have recordings, cameras, and microphones on all of our buses that can record any incidents that may take place, and we can follow up on those immediately. We understand that there is some concern about safety, but I can tell the students and the parents that it is very safe to ride our buses. It's just as safe as flying or any other form of travel these days.
Guilford County Schools says this change will probably only last 2 weeks. But if the city transportation is needed for longer, Mayor Nancy Vaughn says the city is ready to help.
I believe we are prepared to do an ongoing service. Of course, Greensboro City staff and Guilford County School have really worked through the weekend to make this as smooth as possible transition. But I think people should expect that in the first day or two, there may be some confusion and people just need to be patient and work together.